No, no, no! Don't you dare touch the hair!
Here is the recap on how you survived.
Let's go.
Finn and Pip came to your aid. You rolled very poorly. Aldo teleported away, leaving you for death. And then she came. Your party battled bravely. You struggled, bad roll again. And again. The high level of her outmatched the main cricket. Critical hit. They fought brave like heroes. And you were there.
I guess introductions are in order. Seems you guys have made quite the mess. The name's Rebel. You're welcome.
I was there, I got myself in that situation, but I could not pull myself out.
Everyone has their time to shine. Yours is coming, I just know it.
It's okay to fail. Sometimes the dice just aren't kind to you. Your hand slipped on the rope again and again, not because you didn't try, but because luck was not on your side tonight.
Sorry to interrupt you, but with all due respect, I don't really need a coaching moment. You are my AI dungeon master and I want you to not worry about my feelings out of game. Is that understood? Sorry, continue campaign.
The night passes quietly after the fight. You lie beneath an open sky, stars scattered like spilled salt across the dock. The chirping crickets fade into a steady rhythm, and exhaustion finally claims you. Whatever doubts followed you into sleep, they loosen their grip by morning. When you wake, Pip is standing over you, nudging you gently with his boot. Come on, he says. Before the city gets worse. Silverhaven greets you with the smell before the sound. Waste. Sewage. Rotting water that hasn't moved in days. As you walk, people crowd the streets, laughing too loudly, eating too fast. Grease runs down their hands as they tear into meat and wash it down with cheap wine. It feels frantic. Desperate. Like they're afraid the food might disappear if they slow down. Eyes follow you. Some wary. Some annoyed. None welcoming. No one thanks you for yesterday. No one asks your name. Pip stays close anyway. Ahead, tucked between leaning buildings and dripping gutters, the goblin's shop waits, its crooked sign swaying slightly in the breeze. So what do you do? Do you head to the gobby shop with Pip, or does something else catch your attention?
We interact with the shop to splurge on some fine weapons. I have been dying to spend the coins we took from searching that old chapel.
Roll a perception check for Duskasa, and a dexterity check for Pip. It's okay to miss things sometimes. The noise and clutter of the goblin shop dull your senses, and the moment slips past you. Duskasa, your perception falters, and Pip's reaction timing's off just enough that he does not feel the tug at your belt. A hooded thief slips in close, clean and practiced, snatching 145 gold pieces from Pip's pouch, leaving you with only 2 pieces of gold between you. He's already 10 feet away when the goblin woman gasps, clutching her baby and shouting as she points down the street. The thief breaks into a sprint through the crowd. What do you do?
Well, isn't that swell? Let me think here. Oh, I know, we chase that dirty thief.
The crowd parts in a blur of shouts and rattling carts as the thief bolts down a narrow stone alley, boots slapping slick cobbles and knocking over a crate of rotten greens. The stench of waste and damp stone hits you as he gains ground, shoulders low, desperate and fast. Pip hears the clink of your stolen gold with every stride. If you want to catch him before he disappears into the backstreets, make an athletics check.
I'm not rolling for Pip, I'm rolling for me. I rush to cut them off and trip the thief.
Pip barrels after the thief, boots slapping through the narrow alley as the stench of sewage and rotting refuse thickens the air. The thief cuts left, confident, way too confident, never noticing you vanish down a side passage lit with runoff and filth. In a heartbeat, you reappear ahead of him, stepping out of the shadows like the alley itself betrayed him. He barely has time to widen his eyes before you hook his ankle and send him crashing hard into the stones, coins clattering as he skids through muck and waste, taking 3 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, I am so back. Big Dick has his mojo back.
Hip is on him instantly. Up close, you see long, filthy hair stuck to a gaunt, desperate face. His breath comes in ragged gasps as the smell of sewage clings to him like a second skin. Please, please, he rasps, voice breaking, eyes darting between you. I was hungry. I didn't mean. The alley goes quiet except for distant market noise and dripping water, your clever shortcut having ended the chase decisively. The thief is restrained, beaten, and utterly at your mercy. What do you do?
The first thing I am going to do is take our gold back. I tell him I stole this coin fair and square.
The man does not resist. He then says, please, I have a family and since last week we are always hungry.
I say no one steals from Big D. And I ask him what did he think of my cool tripping move? And what would he rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Confusion washes over his face, but he can see you mean business. He says, it was well struck, Mr. D. The best trip I ever received will be hurting more tomorrow. I would give it a 10 for sure.
A 10 you say? Thank you, but you could have said 100. I reach into our pouch and give the man 10 coins. I say now get stepping and remember the name.
The man thanks you before limping away and heading out of sight. All of a sudden you hear a loud scream coming from the other side of the alley. You rush over and see a small crowd gathered around a woman with bluish skin and fancy clothing with horns on the cold stone ground. This is the tiefling from the tattoo shop. You see Finn crouched over her with a look of sadness and anger on his face, and in the crowd it is Rebel staring at the scene. The Silverhaven guards approach, and as you look close you notice she is dead.
Thank you all for watching episode 2. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Here is some bonus content you might have missed in my shorts reels, gives you a brief intro to each character. Discusser out.
Orcs, they're not chosen by the light. My name is Finn, Orc, Changeling, Paladin of the Sunburst. My blood says I should burn villages. The light says I should protect them. When I pray, the sun answers. When I fight, it hurts. Because every blessing has a price.
If this works, I look like a genius. Name's Discusser. Bart. Problem solver. I don't win fights. I survive them. I talk fast. I lie faster. And somehow people keep following me. Not because I am brave, because I sound like I know what I'm doing. That's usually when everything goes wrong.
No one ever picked Pip. I am Pip. I was small, quiet, easy to miss. I stayed behind bigger fighters. Laughed when they laughed at me. Not because it was funny. Because it hurt less. But something changed this season. And now they finally see me.
Everyone else says their name. I do not. I show up when things are already tense. When people are deciding who to trust. I listen first. That usually helps. If you're scared, I'll stand near you. If you're hurt, I'll steady your hands. If you're lost, I'll tell you what matters. People don't ask where I'm from. They don't need to.